No black women yet. People need to really get my subscription up so I can have more access to doing things live. They just ain't. Well, good afternoon, whoever's there. Cozy matching sets. That's because I'm in my sweatsuit right now and it feel good. Straight relaxing. I was checking to see when my jacket was showing up. I need to know. You know how when you get something and you are so seriously waiting for it and it seems like it takes forever, right? That's me right now. UPS, come on with my stuff. Do I have a date? Ah, Thursday. Yeah. Thursday by 9 o'clock. Yes. Oh, it's because it's coming all the way. Oh, it just arrived at Chicago, so it takes till Thursday to get to New York City from Chicago. Okay. I'm still happy. All right. Hey, everybody out there. Excuse me today. I just took a quick break from doing my laundry. Um, you know, and forgive behind me. I didn't decide to do this today with the traditional StreamYard format where they give you the default background. That's my bookshelf behind me with all my books disarrayed that I read all the time and everything else. So if I turn to the side and you see like books and all that shit, that's just me. That's how I am. I have like two bookcases side by side with tons of books and shit in it. So forgive me, okay? Anyway, listen, I came today because I want to talk about something real serious, right? And it's about the fact that recently we have been having a lot of issues with black femicide in different states. Like me, it's blowing my mind, especially in New York, to have like all of these cases of black femicide be so bold and shockingly in your face. Whereas normally when things happen here in New York, you hear about it way aftermath, like a day or two later, a week later. You don't really hear it the way we heard it with Shanika. No, sorry, Shania. It's Samaya and Sanaya. Yeah, I know her sister's name because I actually have a cousin named Samaya. Spelled differently, but still the same name. My cousin spells hers Samiyaah, and they spelled her name with an I, M-I. So anyway, it's a Muslim name, beautiful name. I've always liked it. But anyway, listen, that little girl is sending ripples through New York City. And when I tell you sending ripples, myself and many other black women who were really hurt by what happened to that beautiful little girl. And I'm saying little girl because she was not yet a woman. She's still a teenager. She's only 19 years old. And as a matter of fact, her birthday is next month sometime. So if she had lived and allowed to grow and become a beautiful black woman more than she was already young girl, um, she had her whole life in front of her, which did not include being somebody's wife, wanting to be a young woman with a house full of babies, a whole bunch of children she can't take care of, and that's getting on her last fucking nerves, making her regret every decision in her life. I wanted to let y'all know, first and foremost, then talk about some things that had me going very crazy last night. I have already decided to have my own march in New York City for Black femicide, to bring awareness to, not to, but about domestic violence that leads to Black femicide, femicide that comes from the rejections of these Black males who feel very, very entitled to Black women and little girls. Um, and I'm doing it. I've gotten to the point where I'm tired of sitting around and waiting for someone else to do something and then I tag along. Or I've been trying to reach like Ori from Black Femicide when Rosa was here for the longest, and I still can't get a hold of her. I also been trying to find Spiritual Whistleblower because I know she's here in New York with me. I have no idea where she's at. I've written to her. She said hi, but I never could get a follow up to get in touch with her for us to have an actual conversation to put something together and make it happen. And her, I really like a lot. It's my unfortunate mistake not to like talk to her more than I did when I met her at the Black Women's March with Rosa, because I didn't know she was from New York. So it would have been so much easier if I would have knew she was from here with me to like stay in contact with her, and it would take no time to meet up somewhere with her, or have her come over to me and she, or I come over to her and we just powwow, get some shit together, and then get it done. And I think that us positive Black content creators now on YouTube who are having this serious impact of like getting Black women to understand that, yeah, look, women, we're going in the right direction, and we're trying to start this wave of Black women thinking about themselves and only themselves, right? So I think it's time now for us to take it out of YouTube and bring it into the political arena, bring it into the streets, right? And what I'm talking about is real shit. Like, if we continue this on a wide scale, we can have annual picnics where we get together to plan and coordinate different events and political public rallying and marching in many different states throughout America to stand up and begin to fight for things Black women need in those particular communities. And this way, it's not a thing of, we wait until something happens for us to be reactive. We want to be preventative and act before something happens. So there has never been, and I looked, right, a rally for Black women in New York City. Never. Not even through, the civil rights eras, the movements where Black studies became a number one thing in New York City and we got colleges and programs. There's never been a time when Black women specifically got together and actually marched in New York City. So I believe that it's way past time and it should be done as soon as possible, right? So I called the police department today because those are the people that I, in New York City, would have to fill out an application for, try to get a permit for a parade slash march and a sound permit. Because when I give this march, I do intend to have a bullhorn where I can speak loud and let other people speak loud, or some type of system, even if it's a mic and I have to bring a generator and it's something portable where different speakers get to speak. You know what I mean? Because we want to address Black women as seriously as we can, and we want to let people know that we're getting this movement started. Yes, I know I don't have the clout and I don't have the news reference like Rosa did, because I just don't have that acknowledgement. The whole point of me doing this is to show every Black woman, content creator, and girl and young woman who is out here actually thinking about the real benefit of Black women, not trying to come on and pretend that they're for Black women, but they're really out here trying to advocate for Black males. But I'm really for Black women who are only about Black women. It is about time we stop hiding behind things that happen to us as Black women, as in the case with I say always say her name wrong. Sanaya in Brooklyn, and it was Park Slope, so I was right. I had an argument with my friend at work. She's like, "It's not Park Slope." I said, "It is Park Slope." So anyway, and if for those of you that don't live in New York, Park Park Slope is a really nice area of Brooklyn. It's not like some bummed out. What you guys want to believe is everywhere black people live is horrible. No, it's not. It's one of these areas where even though it was gentrified, it was always nice. Like you got to have money to live there. So but there's always people that have been there before they turned it into one of these areas that's like a hipster place. But it's just a nice area of Brooklyn. If you go there, you see it is really nice. It has like tons and tons of beautiful brownstones. It has beautiful parks. The streets are beautiful. They're lined with forestry. It just looks really nice. And they have a lot of private schools and different things over there, hospitals, all types of businesses, beautiful luxury rental realties for America and Europe. It's really a nice place, and they have every type of entertainment, everything from the movies, museums, concert halls, to coffee shops. Even they have dog coffee shops. It's a really nice area. So, but anyway, so Sanaya is something that I think black women everywhere could use because she's young. She made the news. It is the thing that is part of black femicide that is actually an avenue that has not been promoted much on channels like Black Girl Gone, Viral Crimes, Twisted Crimes, Crazy Crimes, and etc. Right? Those black femicide channels. So with her situation, and with it being an election year, I think it only be fitting, right, that we have a march so that this is in the public's mind. It is in the minds of black women who are out here going through this new revolution of women and women getting revolution of women getting their freedom, declaring a new sense of independent black women's independence, where we are no longer going to be seen by the world as the black male slash supposed black man's babysitter, social worker, personal resource individual, or personal ATM. We're no longer going to be those things, right? So when we all come together and we come out for this rally, this march, in regards to black femicide, in covering rejection by black males and them putting black women to death because black women choose to exercise their own right to deal with their own happiness and not to have some entitled black male feel like if a black woman does not want to be physically involved with them or even speak to them nicely beyond the level of courtesy and civility, these black males feel like they have the right to kill one of us. Now, I don't know how many of you have seen my live, the last live I did, but in that particular live, I went over specific things of information to help black women, as well as more information on black femicide. And I specifically wanted to point out, and I'm going to keep talking about it until it becomes a reality or it gets to the point where we have a say in the vote or the bill gets to the floor to become a law. It is the fact that the government is now, because of all of the black femicide killings in all of America, they are looking to create an entirely new penal code law regarding black femicide. Now, in doing that, right, you have to know that when they come up with an entirely new charge for a crime, the public has a length of time to impress upon those legislators a punishment for that particular crime. Now, me myself, I call for the death penalty. I call asking for an exception to every state's rule against the death penalty when it comes to black femicide. Because there are over 200,000 black women and girls who have been killed by the hands of black males voluntarily. It was not because they had a mental health condition It was simply because they were angered that they could not control that black woman or black girl to the extent that they were like a master and she equivalent to a slave to them. They were upset and got mad to the point where they killed a black woman simply because they could not literally control her every thought, her every movement, her very existence. Okay? And so this is the thing that we want to impress upon to these legislators who are going to make this femicide penal code a reality. And then on top of that, we want to impress upon them the fact that these women suffered and their death should not go in vain. They should be given justice beyond death, justice beyond the sentencing of some bum ass motherfucker that killed them, sentencing that will not only work to deter further crimes like this, but also make a hard impact and imprint on the fact that we take the rights of human beings, such as black women, to exist in this world and not have their lives or the jeopardy of their lives being taken by another person just because that person decides that they want to kill this woman because they exist. We want to make these people, legislators, know that we want this shit taken seriously. Since we as black women are the voting bloc of the black community in all of America, we have to stand united and let them know we want these black male perpetrators and offenders and primary aggressors who kill black women and children and little black girls and who are also responsible for their disappearances, their role in having our girls fade away into human trafficking. We want them to catch the almighty force of hell and brimfire on earth. We want them to live in this world as if they're entering the gates of fucking hell for the crimes they have committed against the humanity of every black woman and little girl that they have killed. Every one of them. And it is something you can get accomplished, black women. You start by becoming publicly acknowledged. Then we work on the legislators and making sure that when they put this bill together to become a law, they have elements in there that will literally strip away the entire life of all of these offenders. Because if they take this person's life away and this person could never see the light of day again, not only should that offender not see the light of day again, but if it is possible with enough pressure from black women all across America, we want those black males who kill black women and little girls to suffer the death penalty the same way they decided they themselves, these black males, will become the judge, the jury, and the executioner of those black women and little girls. We want the American court system to be their executioner, to show them that you will not decide that because you decide to have an adult tantrum that you're going to take the life of a black woman or a black child, or specifically a black little girl, because you feel like life has been treating you worse, in your opinion, than black women or girls. So you have the right to punish them for the fact that you have no accountability, lack of responsibility, and no manhood. Those individual people are not responsible for you in any way. Not even your mother. When you are a grown adult person functioning in this world that goes against the best interest of society, is your mother or anyone else responsible for not even a Ned Dewell, because not that, a gutter snipe, okay? A gutter snipe hooligan of society. It's no good. It's no good. And black women, you're gonna have the opportunity to come out, stand strong with the rest of us, give a speech if you would like. There'll be opportunities like every other march where if you want to sell your merchandise in regards to black femicide, you will be able to. And from there, what we should do is begin to set up a networking all across America of black femicide advocacy, so that whenever there is an election in one of our states, we come during some time of the year within that election period to make sure those representatives understand we stand for our black sisters that were taken from us prematurely and wrongfully, all because of the lack of manhood, the personal inner crisis, the major immature insecurity of these black males who are completely inappropriate, not age appropriate acting, lack all kinds of intellectual, emotional maturity, and who are just like the worst of the worst type of human being known to man. Someone who is so self-hating and promoting of anti-black women everywhere you go, all over YouTube and the social media internet. This is going to be your opportunity to speak out and tell your story. I want to set it up in a way where not only do we have a march, but we have a segment of live streaming where people literally can either live stream their videos from the event or sit down, tell their stories, have the victims, the survivors come and tell their story. I want it to be as emotional and as personal as possible for people who are actually seeing this or who attend the event to understand how the instantaneous decision of these black males to take it upon themselves with such hate in their heart and venomous just wickedness towards black women to kill black women immediately, as in Sanaya's case, and many others who have been killed in New York City during festivals, the West Indian Day Parade Festival, others in the past on Juneteenth, the African American Parade, where women minding their business, just being women and exercising their God given right to exist, did not want to accept the advances of some idiotic, immature, overly feeling entitled black male to take the life of a black woman or young girl. It is way past time that all of us not only just make a YouTube video, but find it somewhere within inside of you to contact your local church, your police department, your local councilman's office, alderman, ombudsman, someone, to find out how you begin a grassroots movement of your own in your own city to speak to young black women and young black girls in reference to protecting themselves against black males, not engaging with them in any way in society. We need to start not only working for calling for the acknowledgement of black femicide and getting the laws to protect us and that death penalty for these black males that kill us, but also for beginning to open the door to a black women in America, their own version of a Korean 4B movement against all ties with black males. Since they have all of this hatred for black women, and the only thing they feel towards black women and little girls is to kill us, literally, as they have been doing since COVID, and have now begun to escalate the murder and the slaughter of black women and little girls, I find it only fitting for us to start to return the favor as we fight for legislation to be put on the books to stop the intermingling or even the joint understanding of what black people are when it comes to black males versus black women. Black women are no longer comfortable with black males. We're not safe around them. When they enter our homes, they bring death, devastation, and destruction. And the unnecessary loss of black women and children. We as black women, we got to begin to stand up against this, and we got to become politically vocal. It starts as small as having a march against black men and declaring publicly, legally, our separation from black males. No joke. So that when a black woman is killed unnecessarily by these unrealistic, adult, childlike individual black males who are chronologically only adults but mentally toddler ass children, these males are given the harshest punishment. And as I said, if we can fight to get an exemption to the law where they are actually given the death penalty as a result of their heinous, hideous fucking crimes against black women and girls, I am completely for it. And I expect all black women who care about their mamas, their cousins, and anybody else that they know of that has been near and dear to them in their childhood or in adulthood that is a black woman. You should feel the same outrage and the same type of I have a need for justice for these black women as I do, and to start getting up, getting out, and moving and acting on it. We can do this, black women. We can definitely do this. We've been able to do anything else in this country we set our heads to, and believe me, if we worked hard enough to work and support for this penal code being created, that is specifically being created for the punishment of black femicide, we are within our rights to ask for capital punishment, the death penalty. I already have had a petition sitting on my homepage on YouTube, two of them. One for the signing of the acknowledgement and recognition of black femicide, and the second one was for the death penalty for all of those black males that just openly, willingly, out of controllably, with ease, kill black women and little girls. Black women, you got to stand up. You got to start fighting for black women, black little girls, and our right to live our own individual, happy, single lives without being involved with black males on any level. It is ridiculous that you have so many black women being killed in this country every day, as we know it to be, every 4 to 5 hours of the day with our children, right? And yet you have no black person who is either in office or supposedly an advocate or some type of well-known person in your community, celebrity, business person or otherwise, who has taken up the charge against black femicide and calling for the stopping of the anti-black women hate that is running rampant on YouTube and every other social media, but who specifically is out there calling for justice and for black males to be held accountable for the onslaught, slaughter of black women and little black girls just because they fucking want to do it. This is how you stop it, black women. This is how you begin the downhill slide of change in society as we know it. When we come together, maybe a few at a time for the first event, but then several more for the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th event, to the point where we get over 100,000 or at first over 1,000 people to one march, we will not only be more of a entity to recognize and have people listen to us the way they need to. That's the point I'm trying to get across, is the more people that come out, the more people that support, the more people that get involved, the easier it is for black women to say, listen, these are our recommendations and these are our demands for having the United States government, who is supposed to be here to protect all of its citizens, of which we are citizens. This is what we need to protect black women and little girls. We need this act of violence and out of control, spontaneous utterance of murder by these black males that do these things for instant gratification to be dealt with as harshly as possible, so that when they even think about killing black women, they understand it is a default understanding or default acknowledgement that you're going to die too. Or if you don't die, you're going to sit in a cell and literally rot for the rest of your goddamn life. This is what we want for every single black male that commits black femicide and child homicide. We are tired of it. And the only way you get shit done, black women, is to put that same amount of energy that you put out into society for Black Lives Matter, and you turn that t-shirt from Black Lives Matter to Black Women's Lives Matter. And we march and we rally and we march and we rally and we march and we rally until we get every goddamn thing we need to make this stop and make these people pay for what they have done. Give me 1 second. I'm on the lab, what do you call this here? iPad thing, so I don't really know how this works. But let's see. Hey Gwen, how are you? Gwen says, let me hit this again. Hopefully it will come back for what Gwen said. How come I can't see what Gwen said? Let's see, top chat. She said, everyone has something to say about the bricklayer, however. Everyone's quiet now. That's very true, Gwen. The same week that happened in New York City, a 15-year-old was, she was killed in Florida too. It keeps going off the killed in Florida at a skating rink. Gwen, that's important. I'm going to look that one up. I'll look that one up, Gwen. Thank you for sharing that with me. And I don't know if it's a way for me to put the chat up on the screen with me. I don't know, Gwen. It's just Gwen because I'm using this. I'm unfamiliar with the iPad doing the live. I'm sorry. But yeah. I'm gonna look that one up, Gwen. And if it's something I could do a video on, thank you for that. I will definitely do it. But yeah, Gwen, this is a serious situation. And so this is why I'm coming to y'all today and telling y'all what I got planned. Because I did call the police department today. Unfortunately, the unit that I needed to speak to, which is community affairs, they were not there today because it was Sunday. So I left a message both on the machine and with the officer that took my message. And believe me, y'all, I will seriously be working on this from now until whenever they give me the green light to go ahead. And then I will pick a space to have this. And then I will let you know. Try to do it. If I'm trying to do this by June. If June is too short of a time, I will come on. I will let you guys know. Or I can also put up like one of those what do you do? You know, like on your community page, and you put up like one of those questions, and people get to vote on it. That chart thing, I can do that, and that way, if I have to push it back just a little to accommodate more Black women, I will. But I'm shooting for the month of June because I figure it's warm, right? People don't have to carry much; they could just come, and even if they wanted to bring their babies, they could. I want to pick a park in New York City. Preferably in the borough of Queens, because I'm honest with y'all, I don't really go to other boroughs, so I don't know everything about those boroughs the way I know my own borough, okay? And I also think that my borough could actually use the tourism more than Manhattan and any other borough. I'm just being selfish for my own place where I live, but I'm being honest with y'all. So there are some parks here that are parks that are mostly dedicated to the celebration of Black history. So I will be looking at those parks to put the march in. I want to tell you that this will not be my first one, okay? I want you guys to feel safe and know that I'm working with the police department. So wherever we have this march, right? Or later I intend to do a parade where we walk down a couple of blocks and stuff, right? The police are aware of it. They will be present. And whenever you have a place where they know Black people are gathering, do not be afraid. Like most people was trying to fearmonger with the Black Femicide March that I went to with Rosa in, I think, 2021, I think it was. I don't even remember, y'all. But it was in Washington, D.C. Whenever you have a march, rally, anything when it concerns Black people, you better know The police are going to be there. They're aware of it, and they're going to be there Johnny quick if something happens, because it's concerning black folks. And the thing that you could always bank on in this situation is the fact that prejudice is going to be on your side that day. Because people don't like black people for the most part who work for police departments, and I'm not talking about all of them, but I'm just being real. You better believe that those people will not miss or pass up an opportunity to fuck up a black person if they acting stupid somewhere. So that's the reason why I'm working with the police department. And to make you feel safe and to let you know, please, once we start getting this going and it's time for people to show up, do not be afraid, because we have to get that fear out of black women. Okay? New York is a very safe city, even though you do have the isolated incidences that make the news, and the news tries to blow it up like it's the worst thing ever and that it happens here every day. It is not. Okay? So I'm thinking about a couple of parks. I don't even know how long it should be. What did you say, Gwen? She said that's what I want to see what Gwen said. Let me see what she said again. Gwen. Sorry, Gwen. Let me get that. Gwen said, same way she said, that's what men want you to be afraid and cower. She's right. All right, so but don't be afraid. Because I can tell you firsthand, I did go to the march in Washington with Rosa. And even though everybody was like, oh, I'm not going to go because there's no security and all that bullshit, you got to understand how the law works in different states. Well, in all of America. A park is government owned. So you have security, not security like a security guard, but you have the police department. You have the parks police. You have in some states, the federal parks police, right? So you shouldn't worry about that. And then because, people are stupid, they might try shit, but I doubt it. But if anybody was to do something stupid, right? And then be real clear. If anything starts and somebody does something or tries to do something to a woman, I'm going to come and intervene. I don't give a fuck who it is, what it is, or how it is. I'm not going to let you not let anything happen. I was getting ready to say something else, but I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to let anything go down and I not come over and try to help you or just help you, period. Okay? So rest assured about that. I have no fear whatsoever about anybody trying to step to me to do anything. None. So rest assured of that. Okay? Then on top of that, like I said, it is a park. So you have police that are going to be there. And then if anything happens, you will have tons of other police on patrol who are going to be in the area that will be there very quickly. Gwen is saying something else. She said, did you see the tweet video where there was a little black Muslim girl getting harassed and some auntie stepped in before no, I didn't see that. That too, Gwen. You giving me so much information today. I'm gonna have to check that out because I'm not aware of that, Gwen. I miss a lot of things, honestly, because I'm not on here all day like that. Most of the time I'm studying to take tests for different jobs to make more money because I really chase money like a crazy person. But anyway, that's another thing I'm gonna look into. And if I find enough footage, I will definitely do a video on that. Thank you so much for that, Gwen. But it is the way we have to be. I mean, I'm not kidding. Like, we have to stop being afraid because there's nothing to be afraid of. These males, they like to try to convince you that they think they're stronger than every woman just because they're a male. That is absolutely not true. And even if you are strong, so what? If I pick up something and go upside your goddamn head, or if I pick up a blade and rip your goddamn throat out from ear to ear, you ain't gonna be so strong then. Or if I decide that I have whatever I have on me and I decide to break your kneecap off your body or hyperextend it or hurt you in many ways that I know how to, what you gonna do then? You ain't gonna be that damn tough then, right? This is why I always tell black women, you got to get rid of that mentality. We already know as black women what we are dealing with. We are dealing with these type of black males that feel overly entitled to black women. They have been taught by their families, by black women in our communities, that they're some type of prize or some type of king to be worshipped, right? And where Black women, even when they're hurt by these dudes, are supposed to protect these guys. And that's not what we're going to be doing from this year going forward. We're going to start giving these motherfuckers up to the police, to the white man's government, and everything else to have them be dealt with accordingly. There's going to be no more killing yourself and sacrificing yourself for these black males. Not going to happen. She said, I was on the 2 train. Sister stood on business and said, you got the right one today. That, and that's a child. Then the dudes got up. Hey, listen, let me tell you something. I don't know why she keeps calling me. I'm sorry, guys. You know how you have a person that you talk with from time to time, and then it's kind of like you don't want to talk to them, and you start fading away a little bit from them. Then they just start calling you repeatedly. Well, that's what's happening to me right now. So excuse me for that call. Like I don't mind talking to her. I just don't want to talk to her today because I just want to get a break from her because she talks a lot. So anyway, I understand what you're saying. And let me tell you something. I guess I'm gonna have to look. My God, Gwen, you're giving me mad jobs today. But, so I'm gonna look for that one too, Gwen. But here's the deal, right? You gotta stop being afraid of these dudes. I have been saying, when I started saying this like a year or so ago, before my other channel, my first channel was deleted, y'all was riding my ass, like what y'all could say, dragging for filth, whatever that means. Y'all were tearing me down, like, oh, well, she's fucking crazy. She out here talking about fighting men. It's easier than you think, black women. Them motherfuckers are not superhero, and believe it or not, they ain't that fucking strong. They not. This is why I say, if ever you get a chance to go to the military, even if it's just like the reserves or some shit like that, you're going to see how easy it is to fuck a dude up once you got the skills to do it, or fuck anybody up. When they step to you and you know how to actually fight and you actually know how to injure people, it ain't hard at all. It is not hard at all. And believe me, with weapons, it gets twice as easy. Twice as fucking easy. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when you deal with people with your hands, you can only hit them but so many times before your shit starts to hurt, or it gets bruised, or it gets damaged in some type of way. Sometimes your fingers get disjointed. You may even break a fucking finger, break your wrist, break your hand, fucking somebody up. But when you have something that's iron or something else that's not gonna break, you'll bust a motherfucker to break them, beat them down, or kill them. That's what you learn. So this is why I am this way. Because when I went to the military and I became a police officer, a parole officer, it's like you get a sense of there's nothing to fear in this world besides what you don't understand is a capability of yours. Like when you doubt yourself, you give another person an opportunity to best you. But when you know what the fuck you can do, you look for opportunities, give yourself opportunities to best the fuck out of that other person every single time they come up against you. And the more black women understand that, the more all this shit will stop. Because the real reason why it's so much of this is because these black women are afraid. They're afraid and they don't know how to defend themselves. And I mean that seriously. In every way. Like when I hear about the stories of women, like you see how they going crazy about this supposed viral video of that Nassau dude, right? With the girlfriend who did the video and exposed him for being a violent, typical black male, domestic violence, black woman hater. Okay, well, when she was telling her story, and she was talking about how she didn't want to end up in the coffin with her neck broke, black eyes, and him choking her out or whatever. I have said this, and you know, for me, it gets aggravating because I am a type of woman that will not give a fuck about fighting with a man and really hurt him, right? So when I hear other black women being afraid to do things that can be taught to you that would keep you from being hurt, it drives me crazy. Because it's like when people grab your neck, I understand that the first response when you don't know what to do is to like grab their hands. But what you're not understanding is you're applying more pressure to your own neck. And the things that you should be doing, you don't do. You waste time, and that is how you get killed, and that is how you get hurt. It's like, it's real simple. It's so many. Oh gosh, but I cannot and am not allowed to teach you how to hurt people on YouTube videos, so I cannot go into detail. But what I can tell you is you need to take martial arts very seriously. That's what I need to tell you. Take that shit very seriously. Go into any martial arts dojo with, I don't care what it is. Whatever you want to take or whatever is near you, go in there and specifically tell them, I need to learn how to defend myself against black males who are attacking black women. Straight up and down. And let them know what it is you're trying to do. Either you trying to kill them, you trying to physically hurt them where they cannot attack you or whatever. You have to be real with these people. I know what I'm saying right now. It seems crazy as fuck, but it's real. They will teach you what you need to know to become as deadly as possible. So that way all this shit is a thing of the past and it becomes official black history. I'm telling you. Myself, I just started a new martial arts class. I just started American Kento karate, right? Because I like swords and I like knives. So I want to become like crazy efficient with blades. Like, I want to just rip people apart, right? Become a real like fucking Wolverine if I can, right? That's a joke, but I'm serious. So this is the stuff you got to do. And in doing this, the reason I keep pushing martial arts with black women is because we already look good as we get older. But you want your body to be a fine-tuned machine, so to speak. When you are in good health, mind, body, and soul, right? You live longer, your life is better, your mind has more clarity, your character develops into something much better than it is, and you eliminate trash, dusties, and stupidity from your life. And that's the whole point of why, me personally, I keep pushing martial arts for black women, because it will get you to a different level of discipline where you're not going to tolerate bullshit. So in the state of not tolerating bullshit, yes, you're welcome, ladies' room. In the state of not tolerating bullshit, right? You'll begin to understand that what's going on now with this whole, let me see, Gwen, you said apparently there's an all ladies chapter. Hold on, this keeps fading out when I try to read it. There is, where, I gotta find Gwen's thing again. Oh my goodness. Sorry, Gwen. This is giving me a lot of difficulty. Ladies. Oh, apparently, ladies chapter of the. Wait. Sorry. One more time, Gwen. I apologize. Apparently, there was an all lady chapter of the Guardian Angels. Oh yeah, it was. It was. But even if you don't want to go out and save the public, I want all black women to be able to save themselves. And it's like, some of the moves are so easy that when you practice them and they're taught to you, it's like common sense. Like, there's a different, like, sometimes people will choke you with a cross hand, right? There's a way to break the grip, right? Then when they choke you on top of each other, hand over hand, there's a way to do that too. There's so many ways to like constantly break the hand, and it's not grabbing the hand. Let me tell you that first and foremost. And for those of you, before you even go to any type of military or whatever, somebody's choking you on your neck, the best way, the best way to get them off you without knowing how to do anything is to take individual fingers and break them shits. Pull them fucking fingers to the back of their fucking hand. Just take them and pull them all the way back. They're gonna loosen the grip. Not only that, when you break enough fingers, they won't be able to close their hand. Do you understand me? This is why learning martial arts is important. Because not only do you hurt people, but you temporarily can disable them to keep them from hurting you. So you can get away, or you can hurt them very severely. So this is why I always push martial arts, because it is the knowledge that you need. And once you know how to do something to a person who's hurting you, your courage is going to go through the roof. I'm telling you this speaking from personal experience. I'm a woman where I was one of those girls that was in high school, didn't know what I wanted to do in the future, right? So the first thing I did when the Army recruiter came around to our high school was I joined the service. Best thing I ever could have done for me. I'm not saying you should do it, but for me, because I was a girl that came from a background of being sexually violated as a little girl by a grown man, by a man who drugged my mother and then came in my room and raped me, being a little girl also who was subject to a violent household because both my parents became addicted to dope and they were both junkies for a long time. My father came home from the Vietnam War and he was addicted to heroin from the war. In turn, he got my mother hooked on that. I don't know if you've ever lived in a home with two junkies, but it is quite violent, right? So, I got hurt a lot in my childhood. As a result of that, to speed it up without telling so many sad stories, I became very broken, very weak, very vulnerable, and had no self esteem. So when I joined the military, even though when I tell you they broke me down to like every night I cried like a little baby on my cot, because back then they didn't have those bunk beds that they have now. They had like those cots lined up in the room one by one with each other, and I'm talking about 19, like when did I go in there? 1989. So anyway, um, it was like that, right? So I was fucked up like for a long time. I was real weak, real scary, didn't believe in myself, felt like the whole world was against me type of shit. So I went when I was in that military. Every day, I was pushed to like the brink of my nerves shaking like this from doing drills, from doing exercises, from forcing my body to work beyond its physical capacity. Like I pissed myself, I shit myself. This was the things that they did to me there. But guess what? I got to tell you, by the fourth month of that, I was as tough and as strong and as fucking thrifty than I ever could be in life. Like it just totally changes you. It gives you like a sense of confidence and the ability. You have a known ability that I could walk outside and look like the easiest fucking win or the biggest pushover in the world. I could look like, I'll beat your ass in a minute. You ain't nothing to worry about. But I'll be the deadliest motherfucker you encounter. That is what learning martial arts and being somewhere where people pull out that inner, like, I gotta get, will you leave me the fuck alone, yo? Sorry, y'all. When, to pull out that inner, like, strength, that inner warrior in you that people have been beaten down in you your whole life as a black woman and as a black girl. Because it happened to me. Like, I remember, getting slapped in the face and fucked up because I spoke out of turn in the kitchen, or the adults were talking about something, and next thing you know, bow in the face, like, you mind your business, a child stays in the child's place. All that type of shit is fucked up for little black girls. But they do it to us because it was done to them. So, martial arts, military, if you choose, it reconditions your brain. It wipes the slate clean of all that bullshit of people teaching you to suffer in silence and to be somebody's fucking victim. Okay? So when you go somewhere where people demand excellence of you, and believe me, if you start martial arts today, they're not going to take it easy on you. They're not going to allow you to give them excuses or say, "Oh, I can't. It's too much." They're going to be like, "Get up. Do it this way. Stand like this. Get up." Like, right, don't suffer in silence. They're gonna teach you that, Gwen, and they're gonna make you so fucking hard, but yet so confident and so able to fuck anybody up that comes your way. You're gonna walk through these streets like a brand new motherfucker. Believe me. You know something? And the crazy shit is because people always have stereotypes about black women all the fucking time, right? I told y'all I didn't go into the story, but just like, when did I come home? I think it was like Friday night on the train or Saturday, Thursday night. I had that shit happen to me. I sit on the train. Oh my god, that person driving me fucking crazy. I was sitting on the train, right? And I'm doing like most people do. I have my little AirPods in. I'm listening to my music and shit, trying to drown people out. So this lady just starts fucking with me, right? And she was doing stupid shit like, yeah, accidentally stepping on my foot and all this type of dumb shit. And the reason she was doing that was because it was a crowded train, right? But for those of y'all that know, I have like this camping chair that is expandable. Like it closes to about this thick and width. Right? I was looking to see if it was near me so I could show y'all. But it closes to like this thick and width. And then it expands like an accordion, right? And you click it into place, and then it's a seat, and you put it on your shoulder, you walk with it. So everywhere I go, I carry that portable seat, because if shit is crowded or I gotta be there for a while, I don't want to stand up and then I'm like tired and shit and pacing back and forwards, or busting one hip and busting the next hip to stand because you're getting tired. So I bring that with me. So I was sitting like that on the train, and the lady starts fucking with me, like doing dumb shit, bumping into me, stepping on my feet, accidentally hitting me with her bag up for a while, right? And me, I give patience because I know the shit I can do, right? So after the second time of her stepping on my foot kind of hard, I said to her, I said, listen, I am exercising extreme patience with you. And I'm making the decision not to retaliate against you. Do me a real favor, because I don't want to act a motherfucking fool on this train, right? Stop doing that. Because when I get up off this seat, I'm going to really fucking hurt you, right? And I'm mad, cool, and calm about it because I'm dead serious, right? And I was going to do everything I said. So she's like, she's sorry. Uh, she didn't, it was an accident. I said, no problem. Don't let it happen again. Folks have been extremely rude on subways since the pandemic. They have been, Gwen, and they be trying black women the most because, see, they have this wrong idea that black males are so strong because they try to promote that stereotype, but it's not true. It's not true at all, right? And so they tend to think that we are weak because we are the women, and because they're men, they automatically are bigger, stronger, better, and all this. And it's not true. It depends on who that black woman is. Like if you ever see me, and for those that did see me in person when they went to the first Black Women's March, you would not think when you see me in person that I am this person that has the ability to do many things that I can do, and that has lived the life that I've lived, because I am not no picture of what people think is intimidating. And that's the best part of martial arts. Is because people look like they're they're harmless. They can't do you no harm. But those are the most deadliest fucking people walking around you. And that is the reason why I keep pushing black women to martial arts. Because the whole point is, you're not supposed to fight just to show off your skills and to hurt people because you know how. It is to teach you a level of discipline and self control that you carry through the rest of your life. So that when you get into these fucked up situations and relationships with these dudes that are no good for you and no good for your children, you don't hesitate to get out of those situations. And most importantly, he's not going to be able to stop you because you'll break his ass up before he does. And it's that simple. I'm telling you guys, it's really that simple. Like, it's just like, I get tired of seeing black women hurt. I get tired of hearing about black women being killed. And when I hear about some of the circumstances, I get angry. Because I know that if there was a woman there that had the skills to handle that, or even knew better, that would have never happened. Like even in the case with the say her name right, Sanaya, right? If that store owner would have just not unlocked the door and actually called the police and waited for the police to show up, that little girl would still be alive today. She would have been. Because the police would have showed up, they would have did a canvas of the area. They would have found that motherfucker. And if they didn't find him, they could have escorted that young lady and her sister and whoever else was there with them back to their home. Then they would have went back to that bodega or grocery store, whatever it was, and they would have reviewed the footage from that incident. And they would have saw his picture. They would have went back to the precinct, and they would have gave it out to the undercover units and even regular patrol. They would have gave it out to everybody, and they would have kept going through that neighborhood till they found that motherfucker, and they would have got him. And so these are all the things that black women got to keep in mind when it comes to dealing with your safety. It's not just enough to carry a gun and blow somebody's fucking head back, but you also have to activate and use the police wherever you live and other things. Like, if you're somewhere, right, and it takes a while for your police to respond, then you have to put yourself in a safe space while you wait for the police, but also have weapons. Because if that space, that safe space, becomes unsafe, you got to be able to defend yourself. Okay? And the other thing that martial arts teaches women, which I want you all to learn, which is why I keep telling you and keep promoting y'all to go learn, is you have to learn to use your smallness or whatever you have about you as a woman as an advantage to the men that are trying to attack you. And they will teach you that. Like, if you're a small woman, short woman, you have a lot of advantages. They will teach you how to destroy somebody's body. Whereas if you're a taller woman, right? You're right, Gwen. They could have let the girl stay in the back room. But she might not even have to go in the back room if they would have just kept the door locked and waited for the police to show up. End of story. And believe me, the police in New York City are violent as fuck. If they would have showed up and they would have, first of all, when you call them and you tell 911, oh yeah, the suspect has a knife or he was violent, they're going to ask you on the phone, do they have weapons? Da, 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 da. And you answer yes to those questions, those police roll with the understanding that they either going to take somebody the fuck out or they're going to fuck their ass up. That's how they're responding. So that's all they would have had to do was call the cops and let them know, yeah, this person is violent. They did this. They threatened that. They're coming the right way for this person. And they would have got, believe me, they would have got him. The only thing that saved that piece of shit was the fact that he turned himself in. Because you guys know there's a big difference between, what do you call it? Turning yourself in and having the police find you. It's a big fucking difference in your charge. So that's the only reason why this bitch ass nigga did that. And he came with an attorney. Gwen said something about, let me see, I seen it fade away. Hold on, Gwen. She said, I saw it with the bodega. Especially with the bodega union. Yeah, like, listen, that's another thing people don't understand about New York. All those little places and stuff like that, they actually have unions. They have people that represent them, have a lot of political clout. They could cause a lot of fucking mayhem and chaos in New York City. Like with that last guy that was killed in his bodega, the old man that was killed by the black dude, that he actually, no, he wasn't killed. He was pushed or something like that. And then he stabbed and killed the black dude that did that to him. He didn't serve any time and didn't get any charges simply for the fact that this black dude was constantly threatening this dude the whole time. And the guy was trying to back away from him and keep himself safe. Like I was saying, a safe space. And the guy broke through the safe space. So when he killed him, it's like, even though we don't really have self-defense in New York City, that was self-defense because I've locked myself away. I'm trying to distance from you and you still trying to attack me. So when he broke through that protective plastic shit they have, that little old man stabbed his ass up, killed him, and the police was like, no charges, nothing. And you could do the same thing, black women. You just have to get to that point. Like, you got to understand. And do not get me wrong. I understand the whole thing about the psychology of the battered woman syndrome and all that. But you know what? It also comes a time when you got to stand up for yourself and defend yourself. Despite how many times somebody may have beat your ass and fucked you up. You got to get to the point where you say, guess what, motherfucker? Today's the last day for that shit. And personally, I'd rather be in jail than to be put in the fucking ground because I let somebody fuck me up or do me dirty when I had every ability to do it to them before they did it to me. No way. I'd rather go to jail any fucking day. Any day of the week. I have no problem with that. And this is how black women gotta get. Like I've seen videos on like Black Girl Gone and Black Girl Unlost where women were literally on there making videos, doing testimonials to the fact that if anything happens to me, it was him. Or, you know, I feel like I'm gonna die soon. Fuck all that. If I feel like a motherfucker gonna hurt me, I'm about to die soon, and I'm living with him, guess what? I'm gonna have all types of shit planted around my house to take his motherfucking head off his body if he comes at me. And I'm talking about everything from a fucking machete to a sharpened fucking steak knife. I'm not going out like that. No motherfucker, not me. So that's the mentality about black women I don't understand. Because like I said, my women people is from Louisiana. My men people is from somewhere else, right? But those type of women, my grandmothers and them, they carried sawed off shotguns. They carried big ass fucking machetes in their undergarments tied to their fucking thighs and put in the sleeves of their coats. They didn't play with black men, and I don't play with them either. I don't. And so when I hear these things about other black women, I don't understand them. I really do not understand them being afraid of these dudes. Because I don't care how many times somebody beats you up, you gotta understand, even a child understands that you have the ability to win if you use a weapon. I just don't understand that. I don't. So anyway, child. This is why I believe it's really important for us to start with a march. I'm going to do the march whether nobody shows up or not. If I'm the only motherfucker there with Black Women's Lives Matter, because I'm going to get a shirt with that on it, and have my little sign about black femicide, if I'm the only one there for however long they say I can have it, an hour, 2 hours, 3 or 4, I will stay there the entire motherfucking time, talking, ranting, raving, walking up and down, and speaking about black femicide because it is that fucking important to me. I do not have to know any of these black women. I don't even have to like these black women. But it is the symbolism of the fucking thing. If I allow sit still, sit quiet, and allow black women to be killed and mutilated and destroyed the way these dudes are destroying our black women and girls, and never come out and speak out about it or do anything to say, hey, this is wrong. And because this represents me, I want somebody to do something about this. I would be the most fucked up person known to fucking man. Let me read what you said. Hold on, Gwen. Gwen said, I come from a time when the girls carried the box cutters in their pockets. Yeah, I be quiet. Yes, Gwen, I know. Me too. Matter of fact, I still might do a strange thing or two like that. This is New York City. So, I don't never be slipping. I just put it like that. I ain't slipping at no time, okay? And another thing I told y'all that I never do. I never walk down the street and don't ever turn around and watch people walking up on me, walking beside me, walking across the street towards me. My head be on a 360-degree swivel, and I don't underestimate nobody. From a little kid to the oldest fucking person on the block, because I know everybody is capable of killing a motherfucker. I don't put nothing past nobody. I mean, that's something. Yeah, I don't go that far. I don't do that. I don't do none of that. I know about the stuff about it in their cheeks. And even today, like, even people with, they used to put it in their wigs and in their hair and all this type of shit. But I'm not going that far. Because me, I'm practical. And I do fight. So I know that that takes too long to get. And when you're fighting, you have to anticipate the response from the other person. So you, like I tell y'all, and it is a matter of fact, if you carry weapons, you have to carry them within arm's reach, right? So that is the waist area, the hip area. The lowest you go is the thigh. because you could quickly bend, grab something off your thigh, and then come straight up your body, which is going to propel right into theirs, either up the middle, through the throat, and up to the head, whichever you do. But that is what they teach you in martial arts. That is what I was taught in the military, and that's just what I know, and that's just what the fuck I do, because it's too much. It's your ankle is too far. Not unless you fall down and you bend your leg, but you don't want to ever be on the ground, right? So you want to always be on your feet, and you want to always be able to retaliate or do major harm. So you need everything from here to here, or thigh the lowest, to grab, to utilize, and to destroy. I'm telling you. Period. That's it. And you got two hands. So with one, you can throw a block. And when I'm doing that, it's my elbow that I'm throwing in front of me. Either like this or like that. And you will stop somebody, because that elbow hurts like a motherfucker. Those girls would wipe their mouths and have raised their hand. Yeah. So those are the things you got to learn. And it's why I'm telling you, you need to go to martial arts, because you're going to learn things that are very, very easy to do, that you probably would never think of if somebody didn't teach you. And if you don't want to do that, then get a gun and shoot them. And just don't extend your hand so much. Learn to shoot from right here from your body. I'm sure. Well, I didn't show y'all. But right here from your body. Just learn to shoot from your body. Like, it's real easy. You just stand right above your navel and control your gun. Douche, 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 douche. And they're dead. And that's real. Because you don't always got to extend your arm. You don't. You can use a one-handed stance in front of you. It's always at your navel, right above your navel. Because that's giving you an angle that's going to be center mass in the chest, or neck or face area. And this is all the stuff you learn when you take martial arts, or you go to a shooting course, or you're in the police department, or parole like I was, and even military. They teach you what to do, because everybody has the same anatomy, and the distance from one person to another, depending on their height ratio, is always going to be the same. We don't have giants walking around in our society, so even if they're still almost like 7 feet, you can still hit them center mass. And when I say center mass, that is what they teach us in law enforcement, because we're taught to shoot to kill, not to shoot to maim, shoot to kill. Center mass is where you want to be. So, and they'll teach you that anywhere you go to learn to shoot. So these are the things that black women got to start doing to stop fucking around. And you just got to get some real hand-to-hand skill. Like, it is what it is. And nobody's saying that you got to have an actual boxing match with these people, but you have to be skilled to the point where you learn to wrap people up, break hands, break arms, break fingers, so that people become disabled. When they're disabled, they don't have as much energy and they don't have as much skill, because you have psychologically defeated them in a small amount. And each time you do more, you break them down mentally and physically. This is all the stuff they teach you when you learn to fight and defend yourself. So if you could teach yourself and fall into being comfortable with being abused and being a victim, it is just as easy to teach yourself how to become the fucking victor. End of story. So, but anyway, y'all, as soon as I get back the information from the police department, I'm going to be putting out the information for y'all to help me decide on a good date. And then I'm going to pick the park in New York City. I'm going to show up definitely. And I want all of you to come. And I'm going to try to give you enough time to where that if you live out of state, jump on the Greyhound for the day, y'all. I'm not asking you to kill your pocket with a plane ticket. Jump on the bus. Ride a few hours to New York City. Come hang out with me. I will try to make it as enjoyable as possible. But we're going to be serious now. We're seriously talking about black femicide. I got it. They say I'm supposed to record it and all the rest of this. So I have to do all of that. So I want to do this because I want to, the same way these black males, when they get on YouTube, try to shame black women into compliance. I want to do that to all of these so-called black men activist leaders out here. that know this is an issue in the black community all over America, but yet they ain't doing shit about it. Like Al Sharpton, number one. That attorney dude Crump that's always running behind Al Sharpton and whatever else is going on in the black community. Where are these people when it comes to black femicide? Now, when it comes to the legislators, you do have black women leading the charge in all of this to protect black women. These are the black women that are mostly behind the new HR bill to protect black women and girls. In my last live, I put that in there. And they're also behind the movement to make a all new penal code charge in the criminal legal system for black femicide. They're trying to come up with a whole new charge specifically all on its own just for black femicide. So those people are fine. We need to get to the other people that are acting like they don't know what those people working on black femicide are talking about. We need to make enough noise to shame them and bring them out of the woodwork. Because if you think I ain't gonna name drop, you crazy. I'm gonna be blowing their asses up on that fucking megaphone, okay? Like, where's Al Sharpton? And eventually, if this one is good, I don't have a problem having a fucking march on the same fucking block as his National Action Network headquarters. Because I know where it's at in Harlem. I don't give a fuck. Because his ass is foul as two fucking left feet. Because he knows this shit is happening to black people. And he don't give a fuck. Black women, excuse me. And then the day I called the radio show to try to get in to speak to them about black femicide and have them address it, they was trying to act like I was fucking crazy and trying to talk me down like, oh, we always care about things that happen to black women. I said, so where's the coverage on black femicide? May I speak to Al Sharpton? Oh, he's not here. Every fucking excuse in the world. But no, and there's I forget, I don't know if that video was on my first channel or this one, but I played the whole recording of the telephone call. I put it on YouTube to show black women that I'm not playing when I tell you that these black males that are out here, they do not care about black women. It doesn't matter who the fuck they are. It doesn't matter if they're a celebrity, supposed activist, your boyfriend, your relative. They don't care about us. They think that they're supposed to get all the fucking shine and all of the praise in society and acknowledgement and consideration, and you just supposed to be their motherfucking doormat or somebody that wipes their ass upon command and gets whatever they feel like giving to you. They're really that fucking crazy. And when I tell y'all that, you think I'm just like some crazy black woman that hates black males. No, I'm telling you the truth. Like, they really think that they're supposed to be held above us because they have bought so seriously into this patriarchy bullshit that their minds are fucking gone. Completely fucking gone. So there is no reason to try to reunite, have some type of resolution, find no middle ground with fucking maniacs. You're not going to win. Like, I don't know how many of y'all saw that stupid fucking live that Crystal Swirls did last night, right? But the one thing that came out of that video she did last night was showing how all those black males that called up to that show may have started out trying to pretend, being real performative now, about how they cared about black women and the black community and family and black people's future, to eventually every one of them disrespecting black women, calling us out our fucking name, talking about how we ain't shit, we don't deserve shit, and pretty much fuck us, and the only thing we could do is everything to please them. Every single one of them. And that shit got so out of control last night. Because I would turn it off and then come back a little later because that shit was too ignorant for me, right? And she's a person that I can't stand. And I'm going to be real honest with y'all. And the reason I can't stand her is because she's full of shit. And I mean that 100%. Like, I was trying to tell her something about something wrong she was telling black women in regards to family court, child support, custody, etc. She took that one thing and went so crazy and went on this whole fucking colorist rant cussing me out, calling me names, talking about my age, my family, all this shit and all this colorist shit in a video. She took that shit down right after she did it. Even though I did a video to come back at the shit she did about me. She called me all types of ugly black bitches, all types of black bitch this, black bitch that. And I was saying to myself, yeah, she knew to take that shit down. I said, because even if a motherfucker didn't like me, once you hear all the fucking vitriol she had for a black woman who has dark skin, that would make any woman, any black woman that's self-respecting and cares about other black women and doesn't like black women abusing other black women just to do it because they're unhappy with themselves, would made a whole lot of people look at her ass in another light. But ever since she's come up now off of this shit where she's doing this man bashing thing and playing into the trauma bonding with black women, she brand new, right? And I'm just looking at all this shit and I'm sitting in the sideline and I'm watching other people who I would never think would come on her fucking channel and try to act just as stupid. You know that chick Nexus Lexus was on her video last night acting a fool too? She literally came on there and was arguing with them stupid black motherfuckers. Whereas if I would never, ever, and this is what you know to be true about me, I don't give a fuck about black dudes. I don't give a fuck about them motherfuckers. When I think about how they kill black women and destroy little black girls, violate us, and talk down about us every day on the fucking internet, I'd be goddamn if I would ever let them motherfuckers call through and talk to me, let alone have a 4 to 5, 6 hour fucking conversation with these niggas when they are constantly disrespecting black people the whole fucking time. Excuse me, black women the whole fucking time they talking. These motherfuckers was talking about black women's, once again, they can't never stop worrying about our pussies, right? Talking about our sexual habits, how we look, who we choose to have sex with. Nigga, we don't choose you. That's all the fuck you should know. Fuck you and everything about you. I don't give a fuck what you talking about, because I don't care about you. You fuck around with me, you gonna find out how much I can't fucking stand you. That's real, okay? There was only one black lady that felt the way I felt, because she told the motherfucker straight up, fuck with me and find out. I'll blow your fucking head back for you. That's the way you need to be. Fuck all that playing with them, coddling them, trying to see if there's some middle ground in there with them. Fuck them motherfuckers. They out here really killing black women and really killing black children. What the fuck is there to talk about? They should be on their side of the motherfucking country. We be on the other side of where we supposed to be in the country. Fuck them. You drew first blood, motherfucker. There's no taking it back. Fuck you for forever and a day. You stay over there, I'm going to stay over here. But if you venture over here, I guarantee you're not going to come back. I fucking guarantee it. And that's how black women need to be. Fuck all of this. I'm afraid. I'm afraid of what? Them motherfuckers is not superhuman. If you cut them, they going to bleed. If you kill them, they going to die. What the fuck is there to be afraid of? They big fucking mouth, they run all day and night. It's simple. Ignore them. You can't stop a motherfucker from talking, but you damn sure don't gotta give a fuck. You ain't gotta give a fuck. And honestly, if more black women were more about being able to defend themselves, nothing like what happened to that little girl the other night would ever happen. I believe that's my Amazon. Give me 1 minute, y'all. All right. Yes, ma'am, but I'm not filling out any petitions. Thank you. You're welcome. Sorry, y'all. That was you know how, I don't know if you guys know, but there's the primary coming. And for us here in New York City, now go lay down for a minute, please. Thanks. So here in New York City, we have like the early election, the early voting going on now until March 30th. So the people who are for each party is coming to people's houses and trying to get them out to vote for them and sign petitions to put them on the ballot. Me, I don't fuck with Republicans at all. All right, and I have to like specifically go on congress.gov, senate.gov, and New York assembly.gov to really go over everybody's voting pattern before I go put my vote for them. So I told her, yeah, I'm going to vote. Thank you. But I don't sign petitions and I'm not going to give a false promise of a vote for somebody until I go review their record. I'm just not like that. I got to make sure this person actually cares about poor people because I'm a poor person. I'm not rich, so I feel I'm poor. So I got to make sure you're caring about housing, employment, and everything else that matters to a black woman. And if you're not caring about things that matter for me, I don't give a fuck about voting for you, period. So that's that. So, she was okay with it and she left. But yeah, that's what's going on down here now. And me, I like to vote early because when it comes around later and everybody's all running to vote, it is so hectic, it's so crazy, and unnecessary. And things are not going to change. Either you know what you're going to do now, or you review the record and make up your mind. I mean, ain't much going to happen. Hopefully, not much is going to happen between there and now. But anyway, get back to what I was saying. So yeah, like I didn't understand that shit last night, and I don't respect the game that's played. Like always trying to get black women to want to have this long drawn live and constant fucking conversation about black males. Like me, I'm the type of woman like if I make a decision, that's my decision. I'm sticking to it. I ain't going back to it. I ain't doing no back and forth shit because I know my life is better off without them. Now, when I see the videos online of people reposting the TikTok videos of the young women over there talking about how these dudes have messed up their lives and the marriage ones and all the domestic violence and the killing and the this and the that. Listen, that's enough right there to let me know with sincerity and certainty I made the right decision. I stay away from them. I just don't deal with them. I mean, when I'm at work, I have really no choice but to interact with them. But I do it on a like hands distance basis. Like I don't no familiar shit, none of that. Let me get my I don't play with them. I have no reason to. Sorry, y'all. Let me see what this person said. I don't trust Crystal Squirrel, so she has, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, me personally, I have a reason to have an issue with her. Because if y'all really would have seen that video she made of me, it really spoke to, like, how she really just didn't like me because of who I was, right? And my thing was, that's crazy because I was actually on your channel several times trying to, like, partner with you, do lives with you for the benefit of black women. But it didn't take me long to catch on that she's not really a black woman that cares about the benefit of black women. She's doing all of this for her own personal whatever it is. I mean, I can remember when she barely got any views, when she started putting these dudes on her channels. I looked at her last video and I was like, she got 30,000, almost 30,000 views for bullshit. And then I was like, well, see, that speaks to the mentality of the women. And it's unfortunate that that is where they're at because it's that type of shit that's going to keep them getting hurt and keep them getting killed. Because when you get to the point where you don't give a fuck about that shit no more, you don't need people doing that. You don't need people talking about like us versus them and how we should hate them and look at the fucked up shit they do. We need to start talking beyond that. We got to start talking about doing something to make black women powerful in America. And when I say powerful, I'm not talking about in the sense of like, standing on top of something and people going, ooh, ah, no. Powerful to the extent where when we say something, we get a reaction. Like you see the same way when that white dude was on here or whatever he was talking shit about white women, the Tate dude, they took his ass off of here as soon as he started talking about harm coming to white women. Wait, let me see what Gwen said. She said everything isn't for the male gaze. True, true. But for her it was. And everything she does is, and it's crazy. But okay. So I don't think that it should be like that. I think, but then the way I think really doesn't matter because people gonna come on here to exploit black women all the time because this is a practice and this is really what many black women do on here. Like when I think about all the people from Princella to all the ones that exploit black women for their own benefit, it's never gonna stop. So me saying that I don't like it and it shouldn't be doesn't matter. It's the way black women think, and I'm glad to say that I see so many of us getting on the right path. And the right path has always been, which nobody really was putting us on that path before, was to be selfish, be about yourself. Whatever it is you trying to do for yourself, be that way for yourself. Because collectively, it's going to help all black women. When all black women are out here pursuing their own personal dreams, like, I want to go to school to become this, or I want to go do this in life, or I feel like I want to, and it's all positive. Like either you're getting certificates to do this, or you're learning the particular computer programs to make it where you making like $200,000, $300,000 a year. You want to be a woman that's child free, never have no commitment, don't ever want to be married. You're about yourself, you, your girls, or just you and one other friend, or you and just your mom. That's the shit I'm talking about. Like when you decide that you're gonna live this life for only what you want in this life and nobody else. You're not worrying about, oh, I gotta hurry up and get married before I get too old, or people expect me to have children, so I must go ahead and get it, or you fall for the bullshit they've been teaching us for years that is not true. There is no such thing as a biological clock. Do not ever believe that. There is no such thing of the fact that when a woman gets her or supposedly goes through menopause, she no longer can have children. That is not true. You can, for those, let me put it like this, for those women that do go through menopause, because not every woman does go through it, you can get pregnant during, before, during, and after menopause, as long as you still ovulating. See, these are the real life biological things they don't tell you because they want you to be in a mindset where you believe the bullshit that is being taught about your inferiority to men. And that's where I'm always coming from. We're not inferior to anyone. We are superior to every fucking one. Okay? Because, like I told you, not every woman goes through menopause. Like, I'm a woman who has never been through menopause. I come from women that don't have a problem with having children in their 50s, in their fucking 60s. Do I advise that? Hell fucking no. Okay? My mother was one of those women. I chose not to be one of those women. I have been pregnant several fucking times in my late 40s and early 50s. But I did not want to be some 50 something, almost 60-year-old woman with a newborn baby. What? I have grandchildren who the youngest one is 4 years old. What do I look like doing that? Personally, I didn't want to do that. But if I was a woman that believed in doing that, so it would be. And I'm telling you that to explain to you that the things we've been taught about our womanhood and about who we are and the expectations of us and about our bodies is not true. So stop believing it. And when you stop believing that bullshit about us, it empowers you to another level. Okay? To places they don't want you to be. Because it bothers men of this society, black especially, well, they're not men, black males and other men, because you are defying this damsel image they have out of you or belief they want you to have, when in fact you actually showing them in the world that you are much more harder and stronger than they're trying to make you out to be. And no, I'm not trying to start a dialogue of that stupidity that some black people have or black women have about having a problem with being a strong black woman, because I definitely am one. And my strong black woman is not about being strong for the whole world, because I could give a fuck about the whole world and whatever they want from me. I care about what I have to be strong for me. Do I have to have the resilience to do what I got to do to make ends meet for my home, my family, my children, myself? Do I have the strength and resilience to get rid of a nigga when he's no good for me? Fucking up my home, my money, my sanctity, my sanity, and my safety. You motherfucking right. I've done it twice. Do I have the strength enough and the resilience enough to understand that being told from a little girl up to an adult that the expectation of me is to become somebody's wife and give away my humanity and my identity, my individuality, to become an extension of this motherfucker over here? Not in my lifetime. And I don't think you should do it in yours. That's where I come from. But with her, when I was talking about her, I basically come from a very selfish and I would say personal aspect when it comes to her, because she attacked me. And when I say she attacked me, it was like I have issues with other people before because I just don't like what they say about black women. It was never projected towards me, and I gave my opinion. They have a right to give theirs back. But she did the unforgivable. She literally said I was black this, black that. And I'm like, yes, I'm black, but I guess you're only saying that about me because you have a problem with my look, my color. Fuck you. And that's how I feel about her. And I can say a whole lot more about her obese, can't fucking hardly walk, get move around ass. But I'll leave it at that. But the way she was going on the color of my skin, as if it was some fucking crime or something criminal and disgusting, evil or unnatural, was making me fucking mad. And rightfully so, because how fucking dare you? Let me see what this person said. I can't see it. They want you to be desperate and make poor, desperate decisions. Wait a minute, go back. It goes away so fast. Wait, let me get it. Meaning choosing them and accepting their foolery. Yeah, Gwen, that's the whole thing. Like, that's the whole reason why, if you haven't noticed, like lately, there's been this real big crazy push on TikTok. I've been seeing it everywhere, and I see it. The residual videos coming over to YouTube where you got all these dudes now, right? Trying to talk about how, they have a problem with other men disrespecting black women, and black women and men need each other, we need to come together, all this bullshit about community and the future and family. And it's like, you're not understanding. Black women do not necessarily want to have families with you. And I really mean, they're not understanding that. Like, they really don't understand that we don't fucking like you the way that we may have liked you before you started all this anti-black women hate speech on YouTube, talking about how much we stink, how much of a whore we are, talking about how we're fucked up baby mamas and single mothers, when you're responsible for all that. And you're too stupid to understand that even though you try to drag us down in society, people see you as the common denominator in all of those fucking situations. They're too stupid to understand that. But they really think that they can just come online and call us all kinds of dirty bitches, hoe bag bitches, all that shit. Even them, they've written to me, oh, you old hoe, this hoe, that hoe. I don't know you, motherfucker. You have never fucked me. You don't know nothing I do personally. So you might be talking about your mama, but you ain't talking about me. That's the shit they do. And they honestly think that all that foul, vile shit they do to black women really makes us want to entertain them in a relationship. No, only the stupid ones. Because the ones with sense are going to cross the fucking street when you come on it. Nobody's trying to fuck with you. We want you to leave this earth. Period. I know that's what I want. I want them to die away. So that if there is any hope in the future, if ever, for black women and black males, and for those males to become men, it ain't gonna be no time soon. It ain't gonna be no time soon. So I don't know what the fuck they think they doing. They see them as common dominators, black people. Cause oh wait, god damn, this thing keep going away. See them, what she said. They see them as common denominators in that community because when they, god damn, stop fading away so damn quickly. When they, it's non-black women, the outcomes exactly, Gwen. What she said was other people see them as the common denominator, so all the things they complain about us is because they are actually starting to see that the same shit is happening with other non-black women. They doing the same thing to them. And this is the same thing that Cynthia was trying to point out, not trying, she did point out when she was doing that episode, Who They Choose and shit like that. And now you see it rampant. Like, do you guys remember just the other day, or maybe not even like a couple of weeks ago, there was that bugged out black dude that he's another one, a supposed educated lame, that he was the one that drove from Pennsylvania all the way to New Jersey, and he killed the stepmother, the sister, and the mother of his children. Remember that dude? This is the shit that people are seeing in the news. They're seeing that. They're seeing it in their personal lives every day. And more, these dudes are out here killing other women the same way they're killing black women. Like, I seen a video today of Pretty Black Magics, right? She did like a small montage of all of these black femicide killings of black women and other women. She included those two well, the other one I didn't mention, but let me tell you that she included these two. She included the one that happened from Pennsylvania to New Jersey. And she also talked about the one where this black dude had a Hispanic woman, had two children for this lady. He beat the fuck out of this lady and then ran her over with his fucking car and left her in the bushes in front of their house. And the fucking neighbors were screaming at the amount of violence that was in this dude and that it took for him to murder this Hispanic woman like this. When they showed in the video, in Pretty Black Magic's video, the clip of the courtroom scene, everybody in that courtroom that was not black was losing their fucking minds about the savagery and the brutality this dude had for this woman. Like, it was people saying shit like, what the fuck could have happened? Now, you know, of course, they didn't say what the fuck. That's me. Like, what the fuck could have happened for this dude to beat this lady like this and then run her over with a fucking car and leave her in the bushes in front of their building? What kind of shit is that? But they do shit like this. Because in another video I saw on Black Girl Gone's page, there was a black woman that had got into like a regular fender bender with some random black dude. And he didn't have insurance or whatever. So she said no problem. She went back to her car and she was going to get her stuff to I don't know why she didn't have a camera, but her phone, to take a picture of his car's information. This dude got so fucking enraged that before she could even walk back to her car, he got in his car and ran that woman over twice. Not once, but twice. But the way this world works is that when people are not supposed to die, they don't. She might have got fucked up, but she lived to testify and put that motherfucker away for life. For life. And that's the type of shit I'm going for. And the death penalty with this march I'm going to be putting together come hell or high fucking water. Because I can't get in touch with Ori. I've been trying. And I cannot find spiritual whistleblower. So I'll do it myself. And maybe when I do it, other people will start coming and contacting and getting involved. Because if it was me and I get what I want, I would want all of the black women content creators who claim they're from New York City, and claim they care about black women, everybody, to be a part of standing up for the rights of black women in New York City as a result of the murder of that young black woman, Sanaya. I said it right that time. Of Sanaya. Because it's bullshit. She should not have died. She should not have died because she didn't want some dirty, disgusting, fucking dusty in her life or in her face. Why should she die for that? She has no obligation to kiss nobody's ass and make them feel comfortable about her existence to the point where if she didn't please this piece of shit enough, she loses her life over it. Get the fuck out of here with that. No way. No fucking way. And so that's what made me decide to do this. Because I said it's getting crazy now. Because at one time, I gotta honestly say, I said it's not as bad as I thought it was because it wasn't here the way it is everywhere else. And I was still outraged, but it was still something in me saying it's bad, but it's not that bad. But now that it's coming here with me, and I'm seeing people that I could possibly know or people I know, I'm like, whoa, this shit is getting fucking crazy. It's getting larger than life. And I'm being real enough to tell you that, honest enough to tell you that. Like, it's one thing to be upset and angered and moved to tears about somebody you would never meet, never know, because they're so far away from you, but they're like you care. Because, hey, MN, you know that she's black and you're black. So it, as just as well as it was her, it could have been you. You get upset about it. But when it's a little girl that many people know with many ties to other people in the city that may never come across each other, but by happenstance go, oh no, I know her mother, or I know her aunt. And that was fucked up what happened to her. That's what happened to me recently. Because I didn't know her, but I know somebody who knew her family. And I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, that was some bullshit. And I'm like, wow, wow. It hit me completely in another way. Completely. Like, I really had to take a few minutes to think about what this person was telling me about this little girl. And then I started thinking, like, let's see now. It's getting out. It's like a monster growing out of control. And I'm like, no one anymore is speaking about this outside of YouTube. No one. Like, I checked today. When I went on Google, I saw like a black women's march, but it was for some other stuff. No one is talking about black femicide. No one. Everybody's trying to bury their head in the sand and act like this shit doesn't exist or it's not as serious as it is. So it bothered me. It really, really bothered me because I was saying to myself, even with all the fucking problems with the one march, because Rosa did too, that happened in Washington, D.C., and everything else that came afterwards, at least there was somebody speaking out and making the whole world take notice. Now, all we got is a few people that put up videos, and that's it. But as far as like doing some real on the ground activist work, where are those people? And so I guess the only thing I could do is lead by example, right? If I can't find anybody where I can tag along with them who's getting the job done, then I guess I got to get the fuck up and do it myself, right? So I'm going to try because it's important to me to speak for black women because they are me and I am them, if you understand what I mean. I can't become another woman overnight. I would never want to. But the fact of the matter is, what happens to my sister in another state or in the next borough over could happen to me as well. And so therefore I feel it's my obligation, my responsibility to try to do something about that. And to keep doing it and keep doing it until something is done about it. That's how I feel about it. So I'm gonna get off here now, guys. I really appreciate everybody coming to listen to me vent and tell you about what I got planned. I will continue to keep you informed as I move forward, right? I hope that if anybody is actually interested in helping, you can always leave me some information in the comments on how to reach you, because I don't even have a Gmail anymore. I would have to set up a whole new one for this channel because I just got so turned off with this. I closed everything out. Okay? So, I don't know. Maybe I might start up another email and give it to y'all where you can reach me, but for right now, I don't have one. I don't. So, I guess if you leave me something or tell me, I don't know. I don't know how to do it, but I will definitely be letting y'all know what I'm doing next and when I'm about to get things done. And since tomorrow is Monday, I'm more than sure somebody from the police department is going to call me back and I will get all the information. And as soon as I do, I'm going to literally start acting on it. So I'm going to keep you informed, okay? Black women, I always want the best for you, but I need y'all to start standing up for yourselves. I need you to start owning your space. And I mean that in every way. I don't care where you are. I want you to own your space. And if anybody threatens you in any way, I want you to not only own that space, but claim that motherfucker by standing your ground and letting them know. If you thought that you was just gonna come over here and do any old shit to me and walk away like that's all that's gonna happen, you got another motherfucking thing coming. And do any and everything you got to do to protect yourself. I don't want another young black girl or black woman to be hurt or taken out of this world because somebody victimized them. Do everything within your power for them to be the one that's victimized. I'm dead serious because this shit has got to stop. And it only stops when people start to stand up and stop taking this shit. I mean, that's it. I mean, we see it bubbling up and coming, but it's not moving fast enough. Like the other day in Memphis, when the mother of those, I think she had 4 kids, and she owned a hair store. She was outside, and her children were involved in a brawl, and she got shot in the chest 3 times by some black dude that just wanted to shoot her that was in the crowd. As soon as she fell, her daughter picked up that same gun and tried to take the life of that dude that had taken her mother's life. I know it's going to sound crazy what I'm about to say, but that's the type of oomph and strength you need nowadays. Because they ain't going to stop hurting and killing black women until black women and girls flip it and start hurting and killing them. Yeah, amen. She said, yeah, that's what happened in my city. Yeah, I saw that video. And I was hurt because from what I saw of that black woman, she was actually a pillar in her community. Like, not only was she a good mom, but she was the type of business owner that actually was there for the people and was quite entertaining and just loved her life, going by what I saw in those videos. And to have a devil like that, like literally sneak up on this woman and just take her out of this world just because he wanted to, that's the kind of shit I'm talking about has to stop. And we got to stop it. And when I found out that legislators are actually trying to create an entirely new penal code for black femicide, I'm like, where are all the videos about that? Where are the black women that claim they're here for black women promoting and pushing that? Where are they? Y'all need to be on that because that's important. That's what we need to have real retribution for the killings and murders and the mayhem that our black women and little girls are going through by the hands of these black males that everyone in society, including other black women, keep want to make excuses for and keep trying to make it seem like they are not responsible for the very acts they are committing. with their own hands. If you're doing it with your own hands, how the fuck are you not responsible for that? And doing it intentionally. Intentionally. Especially in the case of Sanaya. He had an opportunity to leave the whole entire situation and leave the girl intact, breathing in one piece. He decided against that. He decided to wait, have a weapon, and take this young girl's life. When he didn't have the right to do that. Who is he to determine who lives or dies? It's the shit that has to stop. And we got to go out of our way individually in every day of our lives to let these dudes know we are no longer interested in you. And this is why I really say black women need, the same as the Korean women, a 4B movement in America. Straight up and down, black women 4B movement. You could call it whatever you want, but we need it. We need to let these young black girls who these black males target know there is no dating black males, no marrying black males, no having sex with black males, and no having children with black males. And those are the same four principles that the Korean 4B movement is on, and you should be on here too in America. Because it will eliminate all of this. The way these dudes get their hooks into black women and take over their lives and destroy their lives and kill their independence and cause so much trauma to their children is when black women get baby trapped by these dudes, get into relationships with these dudes, and physically go under domestic violence, terrorism, to the point where they're afraid to escape these dudes. But if you never begin with these dudes, black women, you don't have to worry about ever getting out of any of those situations because they will never exist to begin with. And it's as simple as that. Nobody can't be in your house terrorizing you if you never let them in. All right? All right, black women, I gotta get back to laundry, Google certificates, and preparation for tomorrow at work. So, as soon as I hear from them, I will put something up on the community page and keep moving forward with that and let you know intermittently what's happening. But believe me, I'm going to try to make something happen by this summer. And if not by the summer, definitely by September, because I have to find out how it goes here in New York and what I'm allowed to do. And then I will definitely let you guys know. So thank you for coming and listening to me today. I would say go watch the videos I spoke about. All right? We need to support all black women that are on here trying to make the minds of black women grow, whether we agree with them or not. Even if I don't like the person, if their message is still about black women getting away from black males, I'm with it. I'm not with all that shit about we can make shit work, we can work it out, we got to worry about the future of black people on the whole. I don't give a fuck about that. I really don't. I only care about black women and girls. If something is good for black women and girls, I'm all for it. I'm not for any inclusion of black males of any type because I know they are the very reason black women and girls have all the problems they have in their life. They are the reason why black women and girls are broken. They are the reason why black women and girls have all of these character flaws they love to come on YouTube and talk shit about. If women actually have them, they're the reason why they have them. Because these are the males that sexually abuse black women and girls before we are 18 and for the rest of our lives. Because I know it happened to me, and I'm not the only black woman who has survived this shit. Just the other day, I put up a video of a 12-year-old little black girl that was raped by some grown black male in Mississippi and forced to carry a baby to term because of the Roe versus Wade laws being overturned. So we are not making any of this up for any of the non-black people that happen to come across this video. And if you believe in this so-called justice and democracy for all, you will stop being silent about the injustice and the inequalities and the dehumanization and the crimes against humanity that are committed against black women. You will open your mouth and you will talk about it. You will pull up and let your fucking presence be known and let everybody else know what's happening to them is not right, and I'm not going to stand for it. The same way we are beginning to speak up and show up and say what's happening to us now, girls, is not right, and we're not going to stand for it. All right, black women, I'm all talked out. I'll see y'all soon. Go check out all the videos. Have a good rest of your Sunday. And I guess I'm going to try to become the new Rosa as best I can, as as positive as I can, in order to speak up for black women. And I really hope that this shit gets legs and takes a life of its own, because do you know how great that fucking would be if women collectively from YouTube could come off YouTube into the real world and create a movement for protection and political growth and empowerment for black women? Do you know how fucking incredible that would be? That's what we can do. We can do that shit. If anybody can do it, we definitely can do that shit. All right. Till next time, y'all. Be good and protect yourself. Okay? Good night. Good night, Amen. Good night, Gwen. Good night.